Hi, welcome to NPCC Basic Knots. First of all, some basic knot terminology. The end of the twine which you move around is called the working end, while the end of the twine that does not move is called the standing end. The first knot which you will learn is a stopper knot. It is called the thumb knot or the overhand knot. It is the most basic knot. First of all, make a loop with the working end over the standing end. Then, push the working end through the loop you've created from the back to the front and pull. The second knot which I will teach you is called the figure of 8 knot. It is similar to the thumb knot in that they are both stopper knots, but this is slightly stronger. First of all, create a bend. Then wrap the working end once around the standing end. Then push the working end from the front through the loop that you've created. You should have something that looks like this. Finally, give it a pull to tie the figure of 8 knot. The next knot is a loop knot, and it's called the bowline. It is often considered one of the most useful knots in NPCC. To start, make a loop by placing the working end over the standing end. Then, push the working end through the back of the loop you've created. Wrap your working end behind your standing end and pull it back in front and through this loop here. Then, holding these two, pull. Let me show you how to tie the bowline once again, but using a story. First of all, you need to create the hole with the right side over the left side. The rabbit, which is your working end, comes out of your hole, runs around the tree, and then back into the hole. Now hold your working end and this piece of twine and pull. Once again, but a little bit faster. The bowline is characterized by an inadjustable loop at the end of the twine. There is also a pie shape on the front. The next knot is a hitch, and it's called the clove hitch. This is one of the most basic hitches. First of all, you'll need to find yourself a pole. You can tie it around the leg of a chair or table. Start by wrapping a working end around your pole and cross over your standing end. Wrap it around once more and pull it through your cross. Pulling it tight, we've created the clove hitch. Let's recap. Wrap your working end around the pole and cross over your standing end. Wrap your working end around the pole once more and pull it through this cross. Grab your working end and your standing end and pull. On the back of the clove hitch, there should be 2 loops. Push these closely together and tighten again. The next knot is a reef knot, and it is used to join 2 pieces of rope. It is in the bends family. First of all, take one end of the twine, the left, and place it over the right. Then, from the back, draw the left side under. Next, we will place the right side over the left side and draw the right side into the loop. As you can see, we've now created 2 thumb knots of opposing directions. You will see that it looks like 2 interlocking bends. Tightening, we've created the reef knot. The reef knot is characterized by a pi sign on either side of the knot. To undo the reef knot, simply choose one of the sides and pull. Then, slide off the other side. The next knot which I'll be teaching you is called the fisherman's knot, and it is also in the bends family. To start off this knot, choose one of the sides and tie a thumb knot. But don't tighten it all the way. Next, take the standing end of the rope, which has now become the working end, and push it through the loop which you've created. Then, tie another thumb knot, but tie this thumb knot around the standing end. Now you should have something that looks like this. If you tighten the 2 thumb knots and pull them closer together, you find that you've created a fisherman's knot. The next knot is called the sheep shank knot, and it is a shortening formation. Start off with your rope in an S shape. Draw one end of the S underneath the loop. So that it looks like this. Then wrap it over the top of the loop. And finally, through the loop. Then take the other end of the S and wrap it under this loop into the hole you've created, and finally out through the hole you've created. What you now see is that you've created a shortening formation using 2 half hitches. If you've done everything correctly, when you pull, the rope should not fall apart. The last knot which I'll be teaching you is called the chain knot. It's also a shortening formation. First of all, create a bend in the twine. Then, twist it once. Putting your fingers through this loop, grab the longer end of the twine and draw it up through this loop. You've now tied a slip knot. Then, in the same direction, draw the same end of the twine up through this loop. The entire time, make sure you hold on to this end of the knot. You can repeat this as many times as you like, until you shorten the rope sufficiently. Let's say I've got it as short as I want. To tie it off, the side of the string which moves, which should be this end, should be placed into your loop and pulled through. Upon tightening, you see that the chain knot will not come undone. To undo it, simply reverse your last action to give you an untied off chain knot. The thing about the chain knot is that if you were to pull it, everything should come undone. To recap, first of all, create a bend and twist it. Pull through once to create your first slip knot. After that, draw it up as many times as you need to shorten your twine. Once you've shortened it enough, take the end of the twine that moves and push it through the loop and pull. Now I'll be teaching you how to tie a tent guy loop. This loop is used when you pitch a tent. First of all, you'll need a ring. Tie a bowline around this ring. This is how you do it. First of all, create a loop with your working end over your standing end and place it over the ring. Then, push the working end through both the loop and the ring move it around the standing end from behind and then back through your loop. Holding the sides just like a normal bowline, pull. Now you've attached your bowline to the ring. Okay, now that you've attached your bowline to the ring up there, it's time to tie your actual tent guy loop. Start by tying a slip knot with downwards acting force. Do this by creating a loop such that the top of the rope is on top of the bottom. Then, going in from the back of the loop, grab the bottom end of the rope and pull. This is called creating a slip knot with downwards acting force. Take your working end and wrap it around a peg, but in this case I'll just be using a pole. You can use table legs and chair legs to practice. Now, push your working end through the loop from the front and out from the back. It should look like this now. Keeping a rope taut, pull it towards you and wrap your rope around the peg. Make sure you always keep it taut. Now we need to tie a half hitch on this rope. Do this by placing your working end behind the rope and pushing your working end through this hole you've created. It's not a full knot, it's just a half hitch. However, in Campcraft, we should try to keep the first half hitch as close as possible to your slip knot. About a thumb's length away, tie your second half hitch. Again, behind the standing end and through the loop. To tie off, make a D, twist one side of the D, and make a loop with your other end. Push this loop through your D and out from the back. Taking this loop and this piece of twine, pull upwards. This is called a half butterfly. To recap, what you have is a slip knot which has twine going through it, around this peg, and back up. You have two half hitches, a thumb length apart, and you tie off with a half butterfly, which is a quick release knot.